Oh my god. What a weekend of fights. There was a Bellator card, there was a PFL, there was a UFC, there was boxing. Let's just get into all of it. Let's start with the UFC most recently, and I'll start with that main event. Charles Oliveira. That is my boy right there. Charles Oliveira in his last three against Michael Chandler, against Dustin Poirier, and now against Justin Gaethje has done the same thing. He walks them down. He eats whatever they have. Pause. Whatever they have to offer, he takes that on the chin. He'll get knocked down a couple times, but as he says, he gets up and he fucking walks forward through all that, and he's either going to get your neck or put you down with a right hand. He did both of those things against Gaethje. That man is a killer. As long as he can keep walking through shots, which I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep walking through these shots from these absolute killers at 155. But if he's walking through these shots and no one wants to go follow up with ground and pound on the ground because that dude is throwing up triangles and everything from the back. Gaethje wanted nothing to do with it when he had him hurt. Gaethje landed a huge uppercut and a huge overhand right. Those are the hardest shots he has. His uppercut, his left hook's good as well, but his uppercut and his right hand, he doesn't care. Oliveira got hit with a nice leg kick, but he lifts that lead leg up, just kind of walks through it, and then he starts stunning Gaethje with straight rights down the pipe. He tagged him 2 or 3 times with good straight rights, and those knees to the body, front kicks to the body. It was so similar to the Poirier fight, where he was just walking through stuff. But Gaethje's a little bit more powerful than Poirier, so he dropped him twice. Oliveira is a killer, a stone-cold killer. And what did I say at the end of my last video? I said if Oliveira wins, I am dyeing my hair blonde, and I'm fucking buzz-cutting and dyeing my hair blonde. Looking like prime Slim Shady. I don't give a bollocks, mate. I don't give a bollocks. I feel like he could have had armbar easily, because Gaethje was wobbled and he was kind of, his hands were just kind of there. Like he wasn't even, he would grasp them a couple times, but he was kind of just leaving it. And then Oliveira went triangle. Gaethje rolls out of that, and then Oliveira hops on his back like a backpack. You don't need to buy a backpack. If Oliveira's around, you're set for school. All your supplies are in there. He hops on that shit easily. Neck. Immediately. He goes neck and then hooks. And it's sunken deep, and you're not going anywhere. At that moment, I knew Charles Oliveira, and he's still the champion. Khabib, at 254, against Gaethje, missed weight.
Floats up, 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 up. Bang, done. That's not correct. That's not correct. Watch again. Upward trajectory. It has to balance. It's going up, which means he's heavy. Watch. Up, 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 up. Wipes it there. It's still on the way up. It does not bounce. It does not stabilize in the center. See that? That's not correct.
But they were in Abu Dhabi, and they liked Khabib over there, so they didn't care. Of course, all the stuff leading up with his father, how his father died during that training camp, that's devastating stuff. He had mumps, I think it was. He had a toe injury, and what he did in that fight against Gaethje was nothing short of phenomenal. I think weight cutting in general is kind of stupid. They got to do some sort of hydration test. Again, getting off topic. But Oliveira missed weight by 0.5 pounds on that scale in Arizona. Yeah, Charles Oliveira, that's his second defense. Defenses against Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje back-to-back. That's a killer. I could ramble about Charles Oliveira all day. What he's been through, where he is now. Killer. That's the champ. He should probably fight Islam Makhachev next. Might fight Conor McGregor. I don't know. Co-main event. Wow. Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza put on probably the stinkiest title fight of all time. Rose did shit all. Esparza did shit all. But she mixed in some takedowns and was like kind of going for it just a little bit more than Rose was. Just a little bit more. And the corner dynamic in Rose's corner was weird as hell. Pat Barry's like, see all these boos? That's how you know you're doing the right thing. Like, your girl is losing. She's delusional as hell. Like, she, at the end of the fight, she's like cheering, I'm the best. No, you're delusional. You did shit all during that whole fight. And Whitman was like, you got to start putting the pressure on. You got to start doing something. And she didn't. She didn't do shit. That was a weird fight. I don't even want to talk about it. Good for Esparza. She's going on her honeymoon, and she's going to have a wedding with a belt. I'm happy for her. Let's move on past that. That was bullshit. And then Ferguson versus Chandler. Oh, my God. That was absolutely insane. Going into this fight, I was like, I might have to see Ferguson get KO'd spark. But what I didn't calculate as a possibility in my brain was Ferguson getting front kicked in the face. In the first round, Ferguson was doing good. He still looked slow as hell, though. He looked very, very slow. Chandler's shown to be pretty chinny in that fight. Like, he was getting caught at the very end of Ferguson's punches and just kind of, like, wobbling. And I was like, okay, man. But at the end of the first round, Chandler got a nice takedown. Got hit with some elbows on the bottom, but cut Tony with an elbow as well. Some decent ground and pound. Nothing crazy was landing, but then we get into that second round. They're feeling it out on the feet. And Chandler just steps into this front kick right up the middle, and it hit right under the chin. There's this brutal photo. Tony goes face first, like... speechless. That post-fight interview was amazing. He was riled up, calling out Conor McGregor, veins busting out of his neck, and his son Hap, who's super cute, probably a little scared of his dad, who was just screaming. Rogan had asked Chandler if he saw that opening up the middle, and Chandler said, yeah, we were looking to shoot and then throw uppercuts, but that front kick was there. Ferguson likes to keep his hands out, do a little bit of this, coming from the side. It's not a lot here, and there's a lot of room for openings up the middle. And wow, did Chandler exploit that in the most vicious way. And Joe Rogan was saying that might be the most brutal front kick KO. And frig, it might be, but Machida and Belfort was nasty. Machida and Randy Couture. Also, Anderson Vitor, obviously a good one. And then there was Shogun versus Ovince St. Preux. Pretty boring fight. Yeah, not really much to say about that one. Randy Brown versus Chaos Williams. This was an interesting fight to score because in the first round, Chaos hurt him with a good right hand. You'd give that round to Chaos. Rude Boy was doing some good work on the outside with his jab. And then in the second round, he started looking really slick to Randy Brown, like super head movement really good, getting really comfortable in there. He's pumping the jab out. DC was talking about it. He loves it. I wish Randy Brown used a little more kicks in this, because those legs are so long. You can kick them from miles away and still be out of range for Chaos. But there is that fear of Chaos Williams timing a leg kick and stepping in like he did against Abdul Al-Zak. The way judging scored, like damage, they weren't knockdowns, but they were like stuns. But they gave it to Randy Brown, so it was a close fight. Brandon Royval had a nice guillotine after getting rocked, and feel bad for Matt. I feel really bad for Matt Schnell because he comes into this fight camp. His mother died during the camp. That's brutal. And he's talking to the camera like, I love you, Mom. Like, I'm doing this for you, right before the fights. And then he rocks him, gets him down. But immediately, as soon as he knocked him down, Royval started looking for knee bars, heel hooks. Royval's a maniac, man. He's always in insane fights. Eventually, he just got the guillotine and tapped him. Fiallo had a nice knockout, but that was supposed to happen. And then there was this girl, Lupi Godinez, who wrestled for Canada. And I don't know if it was the Olympics or I'm not sure what that was, but man, Lupi Godinez looked amazing. She ragdolled Carnelosi all around the octagon. Takedowns after takedowns. She landed a good right hand on Carnelosi, but mostly just dominant wrestling. Slamming her on the ground. Super powerful. Yeah, that's really it for the UFC. Really good card apart from the Kona main event. Let's briefly go over the boxing with Canelo and Bivol. I'm surprised that Canelo lost a decision. I'm surprised they didn't be like, oh, it's a draw. Like, boxing's like that. But good for them for scoring it for Bivol. I didn't watch a lot of it. That was during the Rose fight. I don't know what I was doing watching the Rose fight over the Canelo fight, if I'm honest. But the stream for the Canelo was kind of lagging, so we stayed on the UFC. Dana, don't kill me. Wait. No, I ordered the UFC pay-per-view, but I was streaming the Canelo one. You're fine with that, eh, Dana? From the brief rounds that I saw, Canelo looked sloppy as shit. I saw like the end of the 11th and basically the full round of the 12th round, and Canelo was just sloppy. Like, his punches didn't look crisp at all. He looked tired. He was putting his hands down in between, putting his guard up, and Bivol just looked like he was overwhelming him. Wasn't getting tired, wasn't getting affected by Canelo's shots because they looked like they had no pop. I'll have to go back and watch the fight, but I don't really want to. I'm sure Bivol won. This is kind of Canelo's game plan. Take the first, 7 rounds to dissect the opponent, walk him down with the hands up, and start hitting him with big shots, outpower him. but Bivol wasn't going to get outpowered, and that's good for him. I'm glad he won. Shake shit up a little bit. Yeah, and then earlier in the week on Friday, there was a Bellator event with Yoel Romero fighting in the co-main event against some rando, and he's a tank. Totally natural. Like, no PEDs involved at all. In the fight he had with Polizzi, I think his name was, he was just landing straight lefts down the pipe. Polizzi wasn't seeing it. And Romero's sprawl is so fast for 45. Like, he gets those hips back and he, like, lands on the ground and then bounces back up super fast. He's finding the counter left hand at will. And then he starts rocking this dude Polizzi over and over and over. And every time he rocks him, he, like, looks around to the fans with his hands up. And he did this for the end of the first round all the way through the second. He rocked him, like, 3 rounds. He rocked him 3 times in each the second and the third round, I swear. Just, like, landing left hands. And then with, like, 10 seconds left, he rocks him again and swarms him on the ground. And the bell goes. The ref hasn't stopped the fight. Like, 3 seconds go by. And then he stops the fight. And they call it a stoppage with 4:59 left. So, kind of weird. Very Bellator. What do you expect? Romero was fighting a bum. And he was just toying with him. I felt bad for the poor guy. He was just getting knocked down over and over. Like, just knock me out already, buddy. And then Bader versus Congo sucked balls. And then PFL, some feel-good moments. Rory had Danaher in his corner, had Faraz in his corner, and he just took this lad down. Surgical grappling is what I wrote in my notes. Surgical grappling from Rory. He got to mount, started landing bombs from mount. Dude didn't want to give up his back. But eventually he had to because he was getting bombed on. And then Rory just sunk in the rear naked choke. Super happy for Rory. He had an unfortunate little run there with a terrible decision against Gleason Tebow. And then he lost to Ray Cooper III, who looked bad. He missed weight, and he looked bad tonight in PFL. And I didn't watch the Kayla Harrison fight. I don't care about it, but she won a decision. But I did watch Pettis get a win. Triangle win. After hurting this guy, I believe, all I wrote was nice triangle from Pettis. Happy for Pettis. So, yeah, happy for Anthony Pettis. Good for him. And, yeah, that's really it. A good weekend for combat sports. That main event in the UFC, I could go on for days about Oliveira and how he's a motherfucking killer. I'll see you in my next video when I have a buzz cut and bleach blonde hair. Peace.